Phil, your days are done. We know that you've been committing tax fraud, and we are going to get you. Ha ha ha.
We got through the intro. What was that, 15 minutes? 19 minutes? All right, we got it done. Because now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the subject, this is the topic that everyone's going to want to hear. This is the part of the podcast that everyone's going to clip, all right? And everyone's going to put all over the internet. And this part of the podcast will be discussed on everyone else's show but mine. Okay? That's how it works, right? The drama portion is what everyone else outside of this stream wants to hear. Maybe you're someone who's a regular and you don't even give a crap. I don't blame you. Why don't I blame you? Because as you know, I'm not a guy who focuses on drama. I'm not a guy who focuses on this on this crap, entertainment value, right? I like putting out content that's game-centered, that's chill. Even though, yes, watching me rage or whatever at a game is entertaining, maybe that's not so chill. It's still fun, right? It's in good humor. You know the kind of content that I like to put out.
I love drama.
That drama shit.
I love it. I crave the drama.
Essentially what he said in this 20-minute video is, first of all, he defended his stance on naming the video 10 Years of Failure, essentially saying, well, Phil doesn't feel he's a failure. He's in a great mental space. Good for him. And if he doesn't want to be in drama and he's happy, good for him. I'm happy for him. But that doesn't mean that essentially he couldn't have been better, that he couldn't have made better decisions, and that for the last 10 years, he's been on the decline, and I consider that failure. So really, it's a perspective thing. You know, I don't consider it failure. I would consider it absolutely decline, or, like I said, a downward slope. I don't think that it's failure, because failure would be, I'm insanely desperate, I'm going out of business, right? I don't have any other recourse. Everything is falling apart at the seams here, right? So I'm desperate, and I'm doing crazy stunts for money every day, like sucking cucumbers and kissing chickens. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not me. I know I like taking stabs at Review Tech USA because I can't believe he still does that shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the case. I'm still someone who's true to myself, makes the content that I enjoy and my viewers enjoy. I have a full, this belief system that I stand by, and I can still do that, and I'm still successful. I'm still operating a successful business. So, again, I disagree. Except that last night, I got the notification that I have no money, and I was like, that really sucks. You know, every day the money I get from tips, I'm transferring to my bank account. So essentially, I'm overdrawn. For them to tell me that I have that, the notice that you are, no balance or whatever. With him saying it's failure, he thinks that's failure. That's a subjective thing. And he has the right, and he even says, I titled it to try to make it entertaining. I get it. It's called clickbait. It is. It's a clickbait title. You want people to watch the documentary, you make it overly dramatic. You have a thumbnail of me insanely close up. Like this. Like this is the thumbnail of the video that he makes of me. Like this. Like you could see the boogers in my nose. And you could see like... Hi, a decade of failure. Hi, how are you? Right? It's like, I get it. That's YouTube. That's the shtick of YouTube. That's what you do, right? People are like, Jesus, stop. Back up. What? You don't like getting up close and personal with your favorite YouTuber? You don't like that? Here, what's in my mouth? Do you like that? Stop this! Sometimes in the video, he says things, and I'm like, wow, that really resonates. That sounds great. And then he'll say something that immediately, like, contradicts it and makes it feel like almost like a red flag. And let me tell you. So he'll be like, he said to his audience, he wants to keep out of drama, and I respect that, and I get that. If he really is happy in his mental space where he is, and he likes what he's doing, then there's no reason, for him to do anything further, But then he'll say immediately after that, but if he would just watch my 2-hour documentary and do a big live react to it, that would be good content for him. That would be good content for me, because then I could react back to his reaction, and then we could do more. And I was like, I'm listening to it. I'm like, so I get it. What it is there is now a community on YouTube, okay? It's a vicious circle kind of a deal, where someone says something, and it could be innocuous. It could be like a little comment. Someone responds to it. Then someone responds back to it. then the reaction community watches the statement, the response of the response, and they create the next level of content out of that. And it just becomes this giant circle of spinning content of people all reacting to drama. All right? And you might think, well, that's the healthy YouTube ecosystem, right? That's absolutely what it's all about. Show me the money. Allow me to tell you a story. And I have never told this story publicly before. I will tell a story to everyone right now publicly because I think this actually is very appropriate to the situation. All right? Last year, before all this drama with the Lolcow podcast, okay, I was friendly with Boogie. Over the years, we had a few conversations behind the scenes, back and forth. Not long conversations, very short ones, brief ones, a little, how you doing? Hope you're doing all right, or whatever, back and forth, like Twitter DMs and shit like that, right? Okay, and one of the conversations that we had was about particularly working together on something, and at this point, there was a situation where we were talking early on about this Lolcow podcast and the possibility and stuff like that, right? And I'm going to paraphrase it. All right, I'm not going to sit here and read the direct DMs I had with Boogie. This was over a year ago. So again, this was before any of the drama of this year or anything like that. But basically, the conversation we had, and this, I really feel, this is the difference between myself and the other people who people consider lolcows. All right, when you look at the Wings of Redemptions, when you look at the Boogies, and you look at these people, all right, here's the difference between me and them. All right, and this is what you're going to understand. It's a lot different. As we're having this conversation, we're talking about the possibility of working with Keemstar on a podcast or whatever, right? So basically, Boogie said something to the effect, and by the way, I think this stream is about to play ads. No, I'm telling a story. I'm going to skip the ads, okay? Basically, the way he equated it, I know this is weird because I didn't bring this up. He did. Boogie actually said something to the effect of the way he sees YouTube or how YouTube is kind of like Walmart, all right? So let's think about that. It's kind of like Walmart. Well, Walmart, everyone knows, is a pretty bad business, right? Walmart comes into town with the lowest prices, the lowest cost for their products, and when a Walmart comes to town, they sweep in and they take over. They could cause all the small businesses in a town to go completely out of business, all right? They, sadly, underpay and mistreat their employees. It's well documented that they do this, okay? And the employees are overworked, underpaid, not trained, right? They'll have someone who's a door greeter, who's an elderly person. This is their job. This is great. They have a living. Oh, you're fired. We don't need you anymore. Why? What did I do? You didn't do anything wrong. We just don't want to pay you anymore. Bye, right? This is how they are. This is their company. And there's countless stories of Walmart being a bad company in this regard. Now, Walmart is a fine company. They don't break laws. They do everything law-abiding and, they're on the up and up. But, man, when they come in, they can completely wipe clean a small town, and now the whole town's focused on the Walmart, right? Now, you could argue positives and negatives about that, right? Walmart, now we got to shop at Walmart, and there's nothing we can do about it. So now it's a Walmart town. Right? That's YouTube. In a nutshell. That's literally YouTube. And that's this lolcow culture on YouTube. What you found is you found people who are so desperate, right? They need to make money in some way. They can't just operate anymore and have a life on YouTube for some reason. Maybe their popularity has waned. Maybe they just made a ton of mistakes or whatever. And the only way that they can get attention on YouTube is by creating drama. So what they do is they create the drama. They know the drama's toxic. They know that it's harmful. They know that it's not good. But that's the only way that they can get by. So they sit there and they create drama. And then everyone else sits outside and says, ha, now we capitalize. And we jump on this. And we make 2-hour documentaries. And we do podcasts about them. And we slam them. And we rip them a new butthole. And we constantly make fun of them. And we meme on them. And we milk them. Milk them. I want you to think about that statement. Because this is coming full circle now. As I was watching Turkey Tom's 20-minute response video about me, okay? He distinctly said 2 things in the video, all right, that resonated with me overnight as I slept on it. And the first he said was, I wish he would watch my documentary so he could react to it, I could react to his reaction, and then he would come on the Lolcow podcast, or the Lolcast, or whatever the fuck it's even called. I don't know, because they had to change the name because they're so stupid. They made a show that they couldn't even use the name of, and now they had to change it. I don't give a fuck what it's actually called anymore. So literally, the reason he wants me to watch his documentary is for more content for himself. Do you understand? He admits it right there in the video. He says it. Dark side, Phil the Lolcow. And then he says at the end of the video, well, you know, unless Phil decides to actually do this interview with me, I think I'm done milking him. Milking him. I want you to, again, think about that. All right? And then I started to read into what people were saying about Tom and or other things going on, and I started reading messages. And basically, here's the information that I got overnight. Are you aware that Turkey Tom is part of this Lolcow culture and Lolcow cast? I didn't know that. I don't watch it. I'm not paying attention to it. Oh yeah, he's called one of the Lolcow farmers. Him and Mudahar and others, they're showing up to every show, and they're not highlighted like Lolcows. They're highlighted like big shots, right? They come to the show in order to basically degrade the subjects of the show, which at this point, I guess, is Boogie and Wings and whoever this other person is who was my replacement, because I didn't do the show, even though you can't replace someone who never agreed to do the show. But whoever they are, I guess, right? They're basically, it's like a shooting gallery. Like, here's the people who are supposed to be the hosts, but in reality, they're just the targets of ridicule and toxic behavior. Again, they're just people shooting down at them. That's the show. That's apparently what this show is. And Turkey Tom is one of these people who essentially, oh yeah, you see, we're better than them, so it's time for us to shoot down at them and basically insult them and do this kind of fucked up stuff to them constantly. All right? And for what I'm under, and again, I'm not watching this show. I have nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. But people contact me. People actually contacted me this week and said, Phil, you have no idea. You made the absolutely, positively, 100% correct decision to not work with Keemstar and be on that show. You predicted it completely correctly. This was not a show where it was going to be the host talking about topics intelligently, respectfully. It's literally the ridicule those people show. That's the whole point. And it's just gross. It's toxic. It's insulting. From what I'm to understand, they're being degraded to the point where I guess Boogie was forced to get on his hands and knees and apologize to Keemstar because he went on someone else's show and there was drama, and he's like, you should have done that on our show to make us money. Now apologize to me that you did this because you're so stupid. And he did it, apparently. Right? Now, again, I didn't see any of this. This is people telling me this. And I'm like, can you imagine? That's what people want to be involved in? You think this is valid content on YouTube and the internet? To literally just be a bullying group. I mean, it should really be called We Bully People Podcast.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Stop whining like a bitch. Jesus.
That's all it is. The bullying podcast. We just bully people all day like it's a fucking schoolyard of people beating down on people. That's what the show is. Right? So, thank God I'm not involved. Yeah. Because I told you guys, I knew. I'm not stupid. I'm wise to this shit. When you tell me that the name of the show is the Lolcow Show or the Lolcow Podcast, there's no respect. There's no intention of actually helping people or doing something positive. That's a toxic show. That's the point. From the day it was incepted, I knew that was the point. You know? That's why I want nothing to do with it. I'm so... Here, and again, here's the difference. Boogie and Wings, they shop at Walmart, right? Anything to get ahead, anything to make a buck, anything to fucking get them to a position where they're doing something because they need that, right? I don't need that. I'm successful. I have a business. I'm good. People come and watch my content. They enjoy my content. They support my content. I do positive content all day. I don't do this Lolcow shit. People try to pull me into their spinning vortex of drama shit. So, but I stay out of it. So why would I want to be involved in a show like that? I'd be a moron, right? And if anything, this is right now representative if you're here every day, that level of shit. My involvement with Boogie and Wings was going to be a positive podcast where we talk, we interact, we have good topics about things. Maybe talk about our lives, our personal situations. You can talk about current events in the news and everything. Dude, I do this every day on my own show. Do you think it would be that hard to do it with two other people who we just talk? It would be an easy show to do. And by the way, it wouldn't be toxic. It would be fun to do. And everyone else out there could react to the show and do their own toxic shit about it. And I'm sure they would. But at least the core show would be great. And it would be good for our viewer bases and our communities and our audiences. That's what I wanted to do. But apparently, this is more important than that. Right? Taking this big paycheck to be on this toxic ass show where it's a bunch of bullies and a shooting gallery is more important than actually doing something positive for the internet, positive for your audience. You know what I'm saying? Nope, I don't know what you mean. You tell me that anyone in their right mind would think that that's okay. I'm sorry, but anyone who's involved in this Lolcow culture shit, you got to get yourself fucking reassessed at a fucking professional. I dare you to go to a medical professional, a psychiatrist. Tell them you sit on the internet and all you do is you bully people or you laugh at other people bullying people. And you watch degrading content about people who you think are pathetic. And this is your actual source of enjoyment. Tell me tell me what a medical professional would say in response to that. I would love to hear it. Because there's a difference between, oh, there's some celebrity gossip, or, oh no, my entire source of entertainment is actually when other people get harmed, or we bully people, we degrade them. It's fucked up. All right? So, I watch a 20-minute video from Turkey Tom. It's my only content of his I've ever watched. And I find the guy's well-spoken. He's charismatic. He's intelligent. He can make a point well. I disagree with him on the point of the fact that he thinks that I've had 10 years of failure. And that's okay. We can have that subjective disagreement and agree to disagree. But the moment that he says, oh, you see, I just wish he would react to the documentary because that would give me more content. Then I could talk about it on the Lolcast, or he can come on the podcast. And then we have even more content to make. And then I could milk him further. But for now, I'm done milking him. All right? That's fucking disgusting. That's not even like a joke. That's not funny. That's fucking vile. All right? That's toxic. That's harmful. That's fucked up. And the fact that you can just nonchalantly say something like that. Oh yeah, I'm done milking someone today. I want you to know how disgusting that sounds. You're milking a human. Okay? Not even for sus. You're not milking them for milk. You're milking them for profits, for money. And every time you do that, you hurt them. But you don't care. There's no quality, no moral compass here. Who cares, right? You're dehumanizing the person. You're you're literally categorizing them as an animal, not a human. You've degraded them to the point that they're just cattle. All right? That's really fucked up. It is. It's completely messed up. I can't believe people think that's okay. Right? When you're watching that Lolcow show and you're seeing people who are supposed to be, oh, we're better than them and we're just going to bully them. What makes you better than them? Exactly. What makes you better than them? Because you're toxic? Because you're okay with bullying people on the internet? You have no morals or values? That makes you better than them? Because you have an association with someone like Keemstar who's pretty much the worst of the worst when it comes to that kind of behavior? I mean, what makes you think, Turkey Tom, what makes you think you're better than me? That you milk me for content, right? And the funny part about all that is, it could easily be reciprocated. Someone could do that to Tom. Someone could do that to Mudahar. Someone could do this. They have done it to Keemstar, actually. And Keemstar ain't happy about it. Remember the H3H3 beef that he had? And when he got roasted on his fucking balls? He hated that shit. Man, he was so upset that someone would criticize him the same way that he's criticized everybody else on the internet, right? It could easily be flipped. But the thing is, you'll look for the easy targets, right? If you already find someone like a Boogie or a Wings or a DSP, and you find someone who's already the subject of ridicule, and you just keep ridiculing them, well, no one's going to care when they flip that on you, right? Right now, if I sat here and I made an hour roast of Turkey Tom, no one would care, because I'm the Lolcow, right? The thing is, I have no interest in that. I have no interest in researching the guy, finding out what failures he's had over the years. I don't care about what his interests are, what his mistakes are, and I don't care to make a toxic video about him to make money or profits. That's not me. You know what I want to do? I want to sit here with my audience, and I want to have fun, and I want to relax, and I want to enjoy video games, which is the whole point of why I started making content 15 years ago. And I want that to continue. I want that positivity and that fun and that safe, interesting environment to continue. So that way, every day when I turn my stream off, I said, I just had a good day. We enjoyed games. We had fun conversation. I made a living. Everyone's happy. No one's hurt. Until you can do that, you have failed. All right? So every moment that you're going to say 10 years of failure, Dark Side Phil. No. I'm happy and successful being who I am, and I don't hurt anyone.
You're lying to yourself. It's huge.
When I make my content, do you understand? That's success. The failure is if the only way that you can be successful in life is to step on others, to bully others, to push them down under your heel of your boot. And you have absolutely no conscience to tell you that that's bad. If that's the situation you're in and that's your level of success, I want nothing to do with your level of success. And I wish you the best. You go ahead, you do what you want, you enjoy your bully show, and you beat up people for a living on the internet. But I'm going to issue a word of warning, all right? A very harsh word of warning. And I want you to understand this is not coming from me because I'm well-adjusted and I'm a good person and I feel that ultimately I'm happy where I am, all right? I want all these people who feel like they're safe in their vortex of drama to be very careful, okay? I really feel like people need to start wising up, all right? And here's why I say this. Because we've already seen situations where people who've been bullied have gone crazy. We've seen this. It's documented, okay? And it's only a matter of time that if you think you feel safe doing this kind of content, this messed up, toxic, really harmful content, and you think that it's good, right? Oh, this is fine because everyone makes out. It's money. It's Walmart. Everyone accepts Walmart, okay? It's just a matter of time until someone snaps. And I'm actually worried that one of these days, and I'm not saying it's going to be Tom. I'm not saying it's going to be Keemstar. I'm not saying who it's going to be. Someone's going to make a documentary about someone. It's going to be the wrong person. And that person's going to fucking lose it, man. And that's going to be, you know, and whether it's self-harm or harm of others or whatever I'm saying, you know, that's dangerous shit. You're treading. You're fucking with people's minds. You're fucking with people's brains and emotions of people who probably already aren't well adjusted. Especially some of these stories that you've told and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is dangerous shit you're dealing with. And I think what it is people are in this culture where they just think everything's fine, everything's fair, everything's safe, everything's okay, because it's all accepted on YouTube. You're right? All right, listen. It's legal, right? It's legal. You can do it. But you got to be careful. You know? There's a difference between I made a documentary and it was even-handed and fair, or I made a documentary, but I really hope someone responds to it so that I can milk them for content and dehumanize them constantly, endlessly, so we can all get all over on it. It's like, what?
What are you talking about?
Ask you something
Stop
before I
whining,
go.
you little shit.
Do you not see the difference between that? And it's gonna come to a point, it really is gonna come to a point where someone's gonna snap. And I tell you right now, it ain't gonna be me. I'm happy. I'm good, man. Like I said, I'm good. I'm in a good situation. I have a great family life, thankfully, right? I've had times in my life in the past where things were awful. Things are good, you know? I just gotta stay my course and not make the same mistakes that I made in the past and just keep going the way I'm going, and hopefully things will go well for me in the future, right? But after getting all this feedback and everything, and seriously, like, weighing this situation of how it's going, I'm like, I didn't know anything about this Lolcow show or anything. I had no idea what it really was. I had an idea of what it was going to be. That's why I wanted nothing to do with it. But when people started telling me what it was, I was like, do they not get it? Like, do they not understand what they're doing? Like, you are trying to normalize fucked up bullying behavior. You're trying to say that's fine, that's okay to beat up people for profit. That's not okay. In no case is it ever okay. All right? And it doesn't matter if it's illegal and people get away with it. It's still wrong. All right? Now, maybe that's me because I grew up Roman Catholic. I was raised in a certain household, a certain kind of moral values or whatever. But to me, when you tell me that, you know what I'm saying? That's, and they think they're protected. They're not. At any moment, and I learned this the hard way, right? You think that you're protected in life and you think that everything's okay. And at a moment's notice, something could flip on its head, right? One day you're going to be doing a documentary on Joe Blow from Hoboken, New Jersey, and how he did something stupid on the internet, and you don't know how he's going to react to it. All right? And that's, I mean, you got to be so fucking careful, man. This is wild that to think. And the thing, I hope that Turkey Tom understands when I say all this, I'm actually trying to look out for his best interests. All right? I think this guy's charismatic. I think he's intelligent. I think he can make good content. I think what he should do right now is immediately quit that show. This very moment that he hears this, he should quit the fucking Lolcow show and try to do something better for himself. Because I know he can. Because I know that he's smart. And I know that he's intelligent. I know he's charismatic. I know he can make good content that's not harmful. He has to stop with that. It's not even the documentary about me I have the problem with. It's all this other shit that he's doing. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. And you got to separate yourself in life. At some point in life, you've got to take a stand for what you believe in. And you got to understand that it's all about who you associate with as well. And that's just not the right path to go down.
Very important. We gotta do things properly here. Make sure we don't make any terrible decisions.
Where he's going. So, you know, all things considered, when you think that it's okay to say you're going to milk someone or you've milked someone like a dehumanized animal, and you think that's fine, that's totally morally acceptable because I got views and money off of it. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. I'm not going to have anything to do with Turkey Tom. I'm not going to have anything to do with Mudahar. I'm not going to have anything to do with Keemstar. I'm not going to have anything to do with Boogie. I'm not going to have anything to do with Wings of Redemption. I'm not going to have anything to do with anyone associated with that kind of fucking behavior on the internet. That is the complete antithesis of what I stand for on the internet. So if that means that I just sit here and I play games with my audience, as small as it is, and I'm here forever, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I don't need toxic popularity for making bad choices, you know, and being milked. I can't believe that you would even say that in a video and think that's, oh yeah, I'm milking people today. Like, huh? Like, what? You think that's fine? To talk like that. That's not fine. That's really messed up. Like, I mean it. Go talk to a psychiatrist and tell them you milked someone today. And let's see how they respond to what you said. They're going to be like, dude, what did you just say? Like, huh? But this is it. It's been normalized on YouTube. This behavior has been normalized by people like Keemstar. So it's acceptable now. No, it's not. It's really not. You have to understand. Normal people think this is endlessly fucked up. They don't agree with this culture, this spinning toilet culture of toxic shit. It's awful. And the quicker, the absolute quicker you get out of this toxic vortex, the better. Especially for someone like Turkey Tom, who seems like he's got his head on his shoulders, he's smart, he's intelligent, he could make great content, but he has to get out of the toxic vortex now before you're stuck in it forever. Because guess what? You'll be the next Lolcow. You'll be the next one who 10 years down the line, you're desperate for content. And what are you going to do to get it? Well, all you ever did was make fun of people. No one cares about you anymore. Now what are you supposed to do? Right? You're the next one on the list, man. So, no, I'm not doing no goddamn interview with him or anyone else involved with any of that toxic shit. And that's my final answer. It's looking like the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.